haven't even seen the fan from yet.
So FNOP will take away. I gotta appreciate why that these two teams are actually, or especially Fnatic Onyx Philippines has now banned the Jushin for 3 games in a row. Aurora play a very comfortable play style when Yue has his hands on that hero. And at the same time, it turns out the idea that they're just going to get snowballed on. Oh, so Aurora finally respecting the Suyo pickup. So this could be a big adjustment for FNOP. Are they going to surprise and suddenly take away the Edith from Edward so that it can fall into the hands of Kurt? But here they are with a Fanny right out of the gate, despite the Cho being open for Aurora.
My goodness. Quick check around more. How many times has this Fanny of King Kong lost? Is there any?
I need a bit of time to double check those stats.
But one thing for sure is I'm sure he has more maniacs than game lost with this Fanny specifically. But right now, Aurora answers right back with Edward's Edith that has been quite hot yesterday. Going up against Falcons AP Brennan. Of course, Renegade this time will be rocking the Gatot.
That Fanny is actually only 2 for 3. There's a reason why teams don't want to give that Fanny to King Kong. As much as possible, they want to take it away from his hands.
It's deadly, right?
Very deadly.
He's had a game where it went 7-0 in the first few minutes of a game.
Yeah.
And the teams barely recover from that.
Whoa!
And now, Keller are very happy to pick up that 1-1 as well.
These are very greedy picks from Fnatic Onyx Philippines. We saw it yesterday against Falcons AP Bren when they pick up lineups where they show their main core damage dealers right away. Teams will be able to counter it. Let's see how it's going to fare though. This feels like a confidence pick coming from Kelra, telling coach, you know what, go ahead and give me the 1-1. There's no one in the lane right now that can mess me up.
Yeah. So right now, do you go for a Doming hero now? Because Doming's been playing Harriet 2 straight times. And one of his most winningest heroes, the Moskov, is still available. Can go head-to-head when it comes to going up against the 1-1. In terms of macro, can also do the split pushes that Aurora is also known for. But again, the presence of the Fanny makes it hard to play a Moskov.
It might force you into some really interesting picks. Well, it's going to be hard for them to actually lock in those heroes that can stop the Fanny right now, since Gatot isn't really targeted. And the Edith is kind of hit or miss against it.
Yeah, honestly, Moskov into Fanny into Moskov, it's an almost always sure thing right now. With how well Fanny pressures the side lane, the long lane, away from the major objective, Moskov also does that. And usually you see Moskov's fearless in terms of just managing the side waves, and they can just hope for the best that they will survive through the Fanny onslaught, which we have seen. We've also seen Fannies be hesitant to go up against a Moskov who's just split pushing, and sometimes he'd rather just focus around the Lord and hoping that the Moskov doesn't hit his ultimate so that he can join in the team fight. So very classic pickup here for Aurora this season to get that Moskov right away after seeing the Fanny.
And for Fnatic Onyx, do you take out one of the assassins that can go head-to-head with Aurora? The Bane.
You take away the Bane.
It's great foresight here, honestly. It feels like they're getting ready to just be a big death ball here with a Fanny on the side. It feels so deadly for FNOP right now.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid any heroes that will disrupt that death ball here.
If you're Aurora, if you're trying to clean up the picks of Kirk, do you go for a kind of an Arlot ban? Or what else? A Terizla?
I think they might consider a Cho ban, honestly. Because they might park on EXP Cho up against that Edith, who does fare much better. So it's going to be difficult for Aurora if they end up with a losing matchup in terms of map presence in the EXP lane, because they need Edward to be present around. So they'd rather take out the focus instead. Cho later for Kirk is available, but then he can still go into the Terizla, and his, dare I say, very wide hero pool this season with 13 unique heroes already played in that position.
It's almost impossible to ban out anyone from FNOP completely with the amount of heroes that they've already exhibited here in the regular season as well as the playoffs.
If the motto for Fnatic Onyx Philippines is greed is good, wink wink if you know what I'm talking about.
999.
999. Then Kirk might actually end up falling into the CC in the XP lane. So it could be a CC or CC Cho or CC Terizla.
Alright. So that's kind of, again, you're expecting maybe a wombo combo. Terizla is also viable here for FNOP. Again, very little answers available for Aurora if they go for that route.
Yeah, you still have the Hayabusa though for Demon Kite.
Yeah, Hayabusa Julian as his next best picks right now, the jungle.
I haven't seen the Hayabusa versus Fanny in a long time. I miss that interaction where the Hayabusa just rides on the Fanny.
Yeah. Yeah, with the
Good
shadow
times,
kill.
right?
Back then.
Let's see if they're gonna think about that. Right now, Hayabusa has fallen favor to a lot of these players.
Ooh, okay.
Sana, all right.
Sana for the team fight could mess up the TIG. Yeah, they need something like a Cho here.
Interesting.
If I'm Fnatic on it, Philippines don't fight the slow front to back. Make your Tigreal be the frontliner fighting slow front to back. Have an EXP laner that can break formations. That's why even high loss would be. I'll double think about the high loss. Again, I already mentioned the heroes I want to see in third tier. Cho, CC, Terizla. And then for the mid lane, they can just go ahead and Vexana into the Valentina
Valentina, right.
into the Edith.
I'll +1 on the high lows because I feel like the lineup of Aurora is already super slow anyway. You can slow them down even further.
Yeah.
Because the Vexana is gonna have to walk in. Same with the Moscow with Edith and the Ketot. Ketot can jump in, but that's the only one they have for backline access.
Ooh, they go for Arlott instead.
Eve is correct, but yeah, Arlott's the choice here.
Valentina. All right. Still, in terms of activeness in the map, Arlott has a good chance against Edith.
Yeah. So right now, Demon Kite, what do you go for? Do you go for your Nolan? Do you go for Hayabusa? Or if you want to go for utility, there's still the Alpha.
They're thinking about like map presence, speed of rotation. I think they default into, if not the Julian, then the Nolan. But the Nolan up against the Tigreal.
It's good luck, right? You can't really take out the Tigreal. The Tigreal feels like it blocked out so many junglers.
Yeah, you see
for Demon Kite.
Yeah, exactly. You see Rora stumped right now. That Bane ban also kind of. It's just a decision.
Ling. For some reason, I didn't think about the Ling here.
Okay. All right. I get it.
It's a sword fight. It's a sword fight in the jungle.
So big sword fight. But knowing that they're up against the Arlott, that could be a lot of pressure into their jungle. There's a chance that Demon Kite might have a hard time hitting level 4 here, but they might need to play defensive early on.
Right now for Aurora, there's still a high chance of them dominating the early game again. Edward has been performing well with the Edith, and if they continue their early game pressure, especially towards the XP lane, and take control of the mid lane, which we all know if you have an Edith, it's easy for you to dominate the mid lane, then Aurora can actually score against Fnatic on it.
These are all default heroes for Aurora. Let's see if that's gonna fare, how that's gonna fare against a lineup that's very sharp and steady here for FNOP. Caster, let's go in the battlefield.
Here's the hoping. Aurora isn't out of tricks just yet. Game number 3 and still not on the board as Fnatic
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
push on to match point. Possibly after this.
Possibly. They got to get to that point. And you know what? So far, man, even for our viewers that might have missed the previous 2 games, King Kong's got to be controlled, and the fact that they went with this Fanny right away, that's a statement here.
More than just King Kong needs to be controlled. They gotta make sure that whatever King Kong is planning for the comeback is accounted for. Make sure that after the 10-minute, 12-minute mark, King Kong remains under control.
Because remember, they didn't even trade turtles the previous game. Like they were just
all in,
moving around the map the way they wanted to. And looking at the emblems here, they're going to want to do the same thing, like this time too. That you see some war crying.
That's a tailored pick. Only few mages would actually want Warcry.
Yeah.
So here, telegraphing Super Prince, he wants to fight. He wants to deal a lot of damage very fast and get in that early game advantage. Spike up in the mid to late when he has items. Turn him into a right-clicking mage.
Yeah, Domeng, Kelra, this has been the story in the gold lane. Throughout the series, these two just kind of duking it out. Domeng, already had to use that Purify early on, and that's just what they want to do. Both of them want to get the upper hand earlier if they can. You see Brusco visiting up here top side. Demon Kite too. Kelra's pretty low.
He's dead.
Tempest Blades, goodbye Kelra. First blood in the hands of Demon Kite.
Smiling Demon, starting hot early on. Not even 2 minutes. Turtle still preparing to spawn lower quarter. Let's talk about the XP lane matchup. Arlott versus Edith. This is Kirk's old flame, by the way.
Yep.
In his debut season with Minana, in season 12,
Back when Arlott fit all roles.
season
almost.
13.
Yeah.
This was the one here that made us all just stand in awe. It's like, wow, Kirk knows how to play Arlott.
And he showcased it. What was it, game 1, right? Game 1 he brought it down and made it work here. So still, he's pretty close to that level 4. Should have it by the time they actually commit to this turtle. Super Prince grabbing his own Primal Wrath.
Oh,
So they'll work through it.
the perfect ult to steal. Some would argue, yeah, maybe you should steal the Eternal Guard. No, Super Prince wants this. This is the perfect pickup for the ult since he has Warcry. It's so good.
Which is funny because remember before he ran Brave Smite,
Yep.
right? So like,
Well, the many different flavors of Super Prince's Valentina. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
likes to kind of approach it that way, and it looks like, you know, for now, they'll just kind of ignore the turtle while they go ahead and look for something else. Part of this also is just, again, having those level 4s available. Demon Kai on the top. That implosion's not going to catch him.
From a different angle,
Oh.
Demon Kite forced to use Tempest of Blades. From a different angle, an implosion would actually catch a Ling mid-air. You did this earlier today.
I did this earlier, yeah, when we were playing. It works pretty good, and I think that's why when we were in the draft, you saw the facial expression of Demon Kite, you know, as they were trying to work through it and figure out, like,
knows.
yeah, what are they going to take? They know that Tigreal's over there, but you're more so just relying on that skill, that mechanics that Demon Kite has shown us before to have the upper hand.
The instincts. Because at this point, he knows that it's a cure. It's not even prevention. Like, he knows it's going to suck when he comes into the range of the Brusco's Tigreal. And that was one key situation wherein he was forced to use his ult defensively. Now the turtle started up once more. Lower quarter. This is a delayed turtle, man.
This is probably about as delayed as it gets because both junglers, they want to just make sure they have their purple buffs. You know, and both of them right now, they just like, all right, let's ignore it.
Shades of Demon Kite's old team RSG, a rotation that they made popular in 2022-2023, the delayed Lord Turtle take, where they made sure that the buffs were secured first. And now look at this, King Kong
You just staring at
challenging him.
Whoa! Oh, that's enough damage to come through with the cutthroat as well. Might be looking for more on UA under the turret, King Kong. Whoa! Oh, does he get away? No! Renegade will get him that one cable off, but still, that's 2 kills now for King Kong.
The beast is slain, but I think he's happy with what he got away with anyways. But I think he'd be happier if he survived. What was that? Did he miss the angle of one cable?
And that's what it looked like, but I think even then, I'm not sure if that would have, if he still would have escaped.
Yeah, he would have ended up underneath the turret anyways.
Yeah, and Renegade was right there. Probably would have been able to get the unbreakable taunt off, I'm assuming. But nonetheless, you know, it gives a double to King Kong, and there's still no turtle taken.
That's
so
right. This might as well be the second turtle here.
at this point, yeah, they might start this one up. King Kong working on the orange buff. Meanwhile, Demon Kite rotating up top.
Mr. Consistent's first item, the Antique Cuirass. It should help in stopping King Kong from doing his thing. Even Kirk, like Kirk hurts,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
If you're just clashing swords with him randomly and then some way, somehow, King Kong joins the fray, like that should help Edward stay tougher. Super Prince, though, picking up the... How often do you're a mid laner, how often does a Valentina pick up a Starlium Sight?
Super Prince is on, so let him cook, right?
What?
Let's oh, hold on! Doming! In trouble, King Kong again! Cable's gonna come through, don't tell me. Doming, wow. He actually survived. I don't know how that happened, King Kong. Not at the angle he's looking for, but here's the final slash with Turtle Guard as well. Finally, a turtle's gonna be taken. Demon Kite will get it. Now still looking for more. Kirk won't get away. King Kong jumping under the turret, clears that tier 1 in the mid out. So they'll trade it. Finally, a turtle goes to Aurora, and they get a turret here in the hands of FNOP.
Make it 2, because Kelder was also working on that top lane tier 1. So that puts FNOP slightly up, because again, I think turrets are more valuable than turtles in the grander scheme of things. 6.5 minutes in, Fnatic on it, constantly playing the map. Aurora taking what fights come their way. Back to the man of the hour here, Super Prince. What was that, game 1? It was a Brave Smite.
Yep.
Game 3 now, it's a Warcry. He's building Starlium sights. What's he on his way to? I reckon that is a glowing wand.
Could be, yeah.
Dude, Super Prince, what he's up to with his Valentina is just pure anarchy.
It's gotta be
There's
a combination though with taking the Primal Wrath, right? Like that's what I'm assuming here.
He's basically cosplaying as an Edith.
Yes, that's the perfect way to
That's
put it.
him.
Wait, the ultimate is called IMU, so it works.
He is Edith.
He is Edith at this point.
Renegade.
Final slap. Renegade gonna try to jump away. Will escape, utilizing that Avatar of the Guardian. Meanwhile, purple buff worked on by Demon Kite. And again, this is gonna be a game where only one turtle gets to go to a team, as Lord is coming up here in about 30 seconds.
Aurora scored more kills. Aurora took the first turtle, the only turtle in this game. And the rotation can actually, the lineup can actually rotate fast. They're capable of that, given the Ling, given the Tot, given the Moscow. But is this not such a far cry from their performance against Falcons AP Brand last night? They buried the defending world champion. Oh, King Kong in trouble. All right, it's fine. They buried the defending world champion. Oh, come on, King Kong, let me finish.
King Kong doesn't want to let you finish, and look at the response here.
This is
he
why.
bought enough time. Renegade goes in with the Unbreakable. He jumps on out, and that'll be enough time to allow also Domeng to get to safety.
Impressive work, Aurora. High game sense. Fnatic Onyx, they tried.
Yeah.
Good setup.
Good rotation.
Just, again, a mobile lineup. Aurora can control the map, but what is it? I don't. Did King Kong get in their heads?
Whoa! The damage on the bottom, Domeng! That's what they have to watch out for from King Kong on the Fanny.
Is it gonna come down to Demon Kite babysitting Domeng? Because there's nobody who can protect him.
And the panel talked about this in the draft, that the Moskov was the option, but you're almost a sitting duck against a Fanny, and that's what happened there. So that's Lord secured as well for FNOP, and now this is where they put the pressure on the resources of Demon Kite here. Purple buff's gonna be worked on.
King Kong did retry.
They're gonna rely on it. Implosion's gonna be used. Spear Destruction as well. They're gonna break out in the fight. Kirk could be in trouble. Final slash. Demon Kite's gone, but they're clapping back here. King Kong will cable on out after he takes out Renegade. The 2-for-2 trade still in the mid lane. Kelra. The spear has to be careful. Backs off, and Super Prince as well.
Fnatic Onyx looking for more after that pickoff on Domeng down bottom. Looking to capitalize, gets clapped back on by Aurora, who have a respectable kit, mind you. They have great responses, and here in this fight, they got a solid AOG, a solid EG, but the fact is, there was just way too much CC in the paint for Fnatic Onyx to let Demon Kite do his thing. Like, this is not an ideal.
King Kong.
King Kong!
Oh, he is in trouble. That's a little basic attack, but it's gonna fall off there. Able to escape, but as you were saying,
He's faster than a projectile!
he's faster. He should be, right? I mean, you're cabling. You've seen that show. They're pretty fast.
3D maneuver here, it's ridiculous. What I'm trying to say is Demon Kite has to go through so many layers. Has to go through a Tigreal, an Arlet, a Valentina that's turned into an Edith, and then the threat of a jump from Kelra. Like, he has to think of all of those things and allocate the Tempest of Blades in a beneficial way. Now, Kirk in trouble.
Renegade goes in with a taunt. Not sure if this is the fight they're going to want. Final slash not going to land as well. Renegade taking quite a few shots, and he'll disengage with a jump again. Meanwhile, King Kong takes the purple buff, waiting patiently to see who's going to come here. He's going to get spotted out, though, so just takes the buff for now.
So far, I'm counting about 50-50. Renegade casting a DAG, a defensive Avatar of the Guardian. Like, that's mainly what he uses it for, but that might be what he needs. Domeng's in trouble.
Domeng's in trouble here. Too much to handle as that full force of FNOP comes on top.
Domeng is down. This is not a drill. Domeng died twice, yes, but in my head I can already see 3 or 4 more deaths in the very same way. Unless they figure something out, unless they find a way to give him space on the map. But that is easier said than done, especially if Fnatic ought to just pop all these holy shields, man.
Yeah, who do you send to protect Domeng? Again, he even purified out of that. But you're just overloaded by so much that even so, you can't really escape that. So, you know, is Domeng just, is his only option to just sit in the base?
That seems to be the story here. You can purify stacks on the 1-1. You can purify from the many setups from Kirk and Brusco. But at the end of the day, King Kong just comes in. Purify what?
Yeah.
in the air if Kelra does fly.
Oh, Demon Kite!
Demon Kite, whoa!
Look at the damage coming out. Again, another defensive AOG going to be used. And this is getting a little dire here for ARORA, as it looks like the lights are really dimming in this game number 3 for them.
Sun's about to set, 12 and a half minutes in. And Fnatic only have scored the first Lord, yes. But they're taking the time with this one. They want to make sure that it's almost impossible for ARORA to contest, or they have a clear take. And oh, Demon Kite.
Here we go again.
Flank here.
Gonna use it. They're gonna jump in. Super Prince as well. Demon Kite going in with Tempest of Blades. Will be able to find Super Prince. Could be looking for more. They get the knock up here through as Kirk gonna fall. And they still have Kelra, King Kong, and Brusco to face off against the Lord.
Well, I'll be damned. The first time in a while, ARORA are actually
Where's he going?
3v5.
They're gonna jump in. Kelra! He is gone! And ARORA finds a little bit of hope, and the light shines a little bit brighter at this point in the game.
There's an ember of flickering, an ember of flickering. ARORA are back in this game, 4 for none, plus a Lord. Did Fnatic Onyx not respect the output of ARORA? Did they hedge on the fact that Demon Kite was not gonna catch King Kong?
Oh, I guess not, and with that too, they've been waiting to do this. Take the purple buff from King Kong, so they have a massive swing now in their favor here, Leo, for this Lord push in.
Usually, it's at this precipice, this crossroads, that Fnatic Onyx just somehow snap into killer mode, into end game. But now it's ARORA who's in that position. 1,000 gold ahead, the map turning red, and for the first time in a while, King Kong has to play defensive again. ARORA looking to clear up these lanes, and they're hunting. I think they're looking for King Kong.
They're trying to find him right here. King Kong is going to be able to escape.
Spotted.
He gets stopped for now, and they won't be able to catch him any further. Right now, ARORA playing to get these turrets down, to get some space to work with, because remember, Domeng has had a hell of a time trying to push these side lanes in because of King Kong.
And now, I think Domeng has gone through the tough part. I think Domeng is in a better place right now. There's an SOD thrown in, threatening the skill. A little too dangerous. ARORA's gonna choke out these resources.
Together. Part of that too, why Domeng feels a little bit more comfortable, as well as he did get that Wind of Nature. So even if King Kong shows up, at least he has an option to play into it.
That's right. Safe from King Kong, safe from Kelra. He only really has to worry about a rogue final slash from Kirk, or like Super Prince coming from a weird angle. Those are the only real threats, the only natural predators to Domeng's Moscow right now. The purple in jeopardy. ARORA choking out King Kong. There's a final slash. There you go.
Flash, AOG gonna be used, not gonna be able to find the connection. Internal guard drop down to Kirk, in trouble, as Domeng will get that one. And again, ARORA will find another pickoff, and they force it down right now through the mid lane.
SOD!
SOD gonna be dropped down. They just want this mid turret. It's one hit away. It finally drops down, and that looks like what ARORA's gonna get.
Tranquilo. Tranquilo. Saying the ARORAs, slowly but surely, there's a Lord spawning in 30 seconds. They'd rather play for that than force anything that may be a regrettable call. Checking out these items right now. Domeng up by about 1,000 gold, so he's a fully built Moskov, on his way to being a barefoot Moskov. Oh no, King Kong. Do they know? They don't hear this, no?
Yeah, they don't hear, they don't see the thunder. They're all right.
Oh,
but
now they do.
now they see that he's there. They'll make their way to the Lord here, because that's the prize for ARORA. They have to secure this one. You know, FNOP is going to want to fight, make them work for it. When a ground picked up by Renegade.
It was a 12-minute drought. It was a very difficult early to mid for ARORA. And now that they're in control, they gotta do this right. Brusco coming in, King Kong from the east, going for the flank. So is Kelra. They spot him.
Kelra zoned out. King Kong taking a ton of hits. Spirit Destruction won't land. Demon Kite jumping back towards the Lord. They just want to be able to secure the objective. And DK will get it. And they'll get Kirk as well. And now FNOP once again backs against the wall on the defense.
The Northern Lights are now up 5,000 gold. 17 minutes in, King Kong starving, struggling to take his purple, fails. And Demon Kite now Once again, I see the smile back on his face. Naisu, I am impressed with Aurora's micro mechanics. For 2 or 3 times now, they have overloaded the young buck Kurt. Do you see how even in the smallest of alleys in the jungle, they're just able to dodge his final slash?
They've been maneuvering it, and it's impressive because it's without a Raphael that they had last game with the movement speed.
It's as if they still do. And there's the SOD and the Lord marching in mid. Here comes Demon Kite.
Gonna jump in. Kirk already used the final slash. Comes Blaze as well. 2 Lords on the field. Still gonna be working through it. Implosion not gonna be enough as well. Even with the crossbow of Tang, it's not enough as Aurora finally gets on the board for the series.